our administration has obviously made it clear that that's not the stance and what we want from the volunteer spirit. That I feel the same way. That's a very few number. Man, the passion, energy from our fan base. I've been in a lot of competitive arenas as a player and as a coach. There was nothing better that I've ever been in than what happened on Saturday night.
And realize it's the same game. It's not like we're going to Canada and they're going to change the rules. It's going to be the same game. It's going to be a little louder and playing at a different location.
Oh my God, we should leave it at that.
Okay.
We should close with that. That is the mind blower of mind blowers.
Good.
You know what Baker Mayfield said about Neyland Stadium? He said, it's a different type of loud. Can't even describe it. Can't describe it? It's okay. His teammates did. And I quote, I ran out of the tunnel for warm-ups, and I was greeted by thousands of screaming fans. The game wouldn't even start for over an hour, but those people seemed to think it was kickoff. Those psychotic students already giving us a preview of what to expect in the hours to come. What followed was a dissertation of an impact a crowd could have on a football game. They made it absolutely impossible to communicate. But on the first drive, we had to change our snap count because even our silent count was ineffective against the wall of noise. I came off the field after the first drive, and I reassured my coach that the fans would settle down in due time, and that noise wasn't going to be an issue going forward. Boy, was I wrong. The noise was a constant, oppressive force. I could literally feel it on my skin. Those fans weren't just loud on the first drive, or even just third down, but every single play. End quote. Wow. Ball Nation. He's talking about us. Don't let up.
The Southland Band crisply marches into the Giant T. The rear, the roar of 97,000 fans rises with each rhythmic step. In the background, George Beaches is singing Fight, Balls, Fight. The orange and white Shakers flood the air. The Volunteers are ready at the north end of the football field to burst through the gate. They're coming now, racing onto the field through the Giant T. In that magic moment that says, wherever you are, it's football time in Tennessee.
Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. This is Talkin VAWLS Live. We've got a jam-packed show tonight. Eric Cain from VolQuest.com. Also, Locked On Vols is going to be jumping on. We're going to talk a little bit about this Florida game. Then we're going to turn it over to you guys. It's going to be a fan call-in show. Should be a great night, man. It's one of my favorite nights of the week. I love the fan call-in show, letting you guys come on and hijack the show. Let's see who's in the chat real quick. Run it down. Sawyer Smith is here. It says Goosebumps. Man, that's about the third time I've watched that clip today. Feel like I've been online talking to you guys the entire day, but I still get chill bumps every single time. Wayne's in the house. What's up, Wayne? Leah Lancaster is here. Love this hype video. Admiral is perfect. See a lot of you guys in the chat saying they've got to play that video on Saturday afternoon. I see a lot of people tagging Danny White in that, saying let's make it happen. We'll see. Danny White always has his fingers on the pulse. The kid's here. What's up, Elijah? Good to see you in the chat, my friend. Who else we got hanging out here? Jeremy Bristol is here. Chip is in the house. Says, I'm so hyped to be going to Neyland on Saturday. Won't be sitting the entire game. It's going to be hostile. It's going to be exciting. IKPS, easy for me to say, becomes a member of the channel. We appreciate that support. We've got about 250 people watching live right now. You guys know what to do. Smash the thumbs up. Share it out. I told you guys before we went live, if we get to 15,000 subscribers tonight, before the end of the stream, I'll give away 3 free shirts. So share that thing out. Hit that like button. Let's jump into it. This guy needs no introduction. You guys already know who he is. You asked for this crossover, so we're going to bring it to you. Let's get Eric Cain from Locked On Vols and VolQuest.com back on the show.
Locked On Vols, your daily podcast on the Tennessee Volunteers.
Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's up, Eric? Good to have you back on the Talkin VAWLS Network, my man.
Dude, hey, glad to be here, man. Everybody's jacked up, ready to roll. I'm excited to be here.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Like I said, I feel like I've been online all day. I went live earlier this morning, dropped a video middle of the day, back online tonight, and people are just as excited. They're here at 9 in the morning. They're back at 9 o'clock at night. They can't get enough. And you know, look, it feels like I keep comparing it to the Ole Miss game last year, just the energy leading up to the game that week. And now here we are again, Florida 3-0. Tennessee, you know, we talked about this. The episode's not out yet, but when we talked earlier in the week, Tennessee's taking care of business at this point. They're 3-0. They've done what they needed to do. There's criticisms. There's critiques. That's what we do. But the excitement, the energy is there. Let's talk about this atmosphere that's going to be Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, it's going to be wild. And by the way, if you guys want to catch Boogie on Locked On VAWLS, that's coming out tomorrow morning. So he'll be on the show. So, again, you can watch right now. Check it out tomorrow morning as well. Boogie's going to be on the show. But, yeah, dude, I'm excited. I remember I wasn't in house for the 2015 Oklahoma game, but you know, a lot of people you talk to say that's the loudest and kind of as ruckus as it's been in quite some time. And you know, that Ole Miss game, obviously all the stuff that happened with throwing on the field and everything, but I mean, it was wild. You talk to recruits who were in house, who were here on visits, and you know, with their families and everything, they just couldn't say enough nice things about what the environment was, and you know, with the coming through the tee with the spotlight and all that, people packing campus way early in the day, in the morning. And that was Ole Miss. I mean, this is Florida. So this environment's going to be, it's going to be through the roof for sure.
Jordan Burgess in the chat drops $2 super chat. Appreciate the tip. Says the shirts are fire. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit. You guys asked for a new t-shirt design, so we got it out there. It's going to be a limited edition. We'll show that here in just a little bit once Eric gets off the show. But yeah, big time atmosphere, Florida game day, checker kneeling, all that type of stuff. I feel like, and let me know if you feel the same way. Do you feel like it's almost like a turning point? And I know if they lose on Saturday, it's not like we're going to be, at least the logical ones are not going to be saying, hey, we got to fire Josh Heupel. But this feels like such a turning point because of the circumstances, because of one win in the last 17 games. Just feels like it's so critical to get over that hump.
No doubt. I think defensively they're going to try to run the football with Anthony Richardson, so you better be ready for that. And I think Jeremy Banks, Alpha Man 06, Jeremy Banks going to have a big day. He played really well against Akron. But it feels like, of course, this is not a must-win game or anything, but kind of where Florida is right now in terms of the last 2 weeks, kind of where Josh Heupel's come here in year number 2, and kind of with that overtime win at Pittsburgh, finding a way to win when your offense went stagnant in the second half. It just kind of feels like all the momentum's going for Tennessee's direction, and it's going away from Florida. And 16 the last 17, nobody likes to talk about that, but it's facts. I mean, it is. And Tennessee hadn't won in this one since 2016, despite having the better team on paper and on the field many years in this matchup. So I feel like Saturday's a good game for Tennessee to come out on top in this one. I really do. And I know we've said that before many times, but I truly do. I just think that Tennessee has a better football team right now. I don't think Florida's as bad as what they looked like last Saturday and what they look like against Kentucky, but I think Tennessee's the better football team.
I think it feels like almost time. It's not must win. It just feels like timing to me because Tennessee, there's been years past where Tennessee was the better football team. At least it felt that way, and they didn't get it done. But this feels like, I don't know, maybe because we're in starting year 2 of the Josh Heupel era. Billy Napier's a year behind. It's like if you can get that momentum, get that edge, let's start a streak of our own. I just think it's crucial. It's good timing to kind of flip the script there. John Hill for 10. Thank you for the super chat. Locked On VAWLS and Talkin VAWLS. Good stuff. Go Big Orange. Now we can start the party. It's not a Talkin VAWLS party till John drops in here and throws a super chat at me. Appreciate that, John. Always here, always supporting what we do here, but also Locked On VAWLS. Thank you, John. We appreciate that. Like I said, Tennessee's taking care of business, 3-0, kind of done what they needed to do. There's always the fun, the hype, the buzz in fall camp, and even going back to spring camp, the eye test, who looks the part. Oh, they're bigger, they're stronger, they're faster. But here we are. We got something to watch now. We got some game film, some tape to watch. Give me a couple of players, one on offense, one on defense, that maybe kind of surprised you coming out of fall camp now that we're 3 games into the year.
Well, you start with Aaron Beasley on defense, right? I mean, goodness gracious. Now, I mean, it was a game against Akron. You had Joel Mitchell that got back in the fold. So his stats, he wasn't flying around like normal. But what he played, how he played against Pitt was, huge. The plays he was making against Ball State, getting after the quarterback, ginormous. And Juwan Mitchell's, starting linebacker. He was coming out of camp as the starter, and I think all three of those guys are going to play. But I never envisioned this kind of start for Aaron Beasley. So, good for him. I think he's looked really good. On offense, I think Jalen Hyatt. And again, this is a guy that has all the potential in the world. And we've seen him do some things as a freshman. I mean, he got some run as a sophomore last year. You knew that the potential was always there. It was just a matter of kind of putting it together. And I mean, a touchdown on play number 1 of the season offensively, what he did with 11 receptions against Pittsburgh in week 2, so efficient, 5 targets, 5 receptions, 2 touchdowns over the middle on beautiful throws from Hendon Hooker against Akron. I like what Jalen Hyatt's been doing so far this year. I was hoping that he would do that, but I wasn't for sure because it didn't click last year for him, but he's looked really, really good. But 2 different type of players. You expect that from Hyatt. You don't expect that from Beasley, but both are performing well.
Yeah, Beasley's been a real nice surprise. So much so that I'm kind of just saying, and like you said, they're going to play all 4 of those linebackers on the inside. But it's kind of like, what are you going to do? Who are you going to run out there first? Because Beasley's leading the team in tackles, and like you said, you just didn't expect it. Good to see Hyatt, though. I just like that the talk during the offseason of not doing what he was supposed to do and how he recognized that, and then to see him have that success. But what do you think coming up on Saturday with, the buzz sounds like the running backs hopefully good to go. Cedric Tillman still up in the air. What do you like these wide receivers to do if Tillman is out? Do you think Hyatt is the guy they kind of look to step up? Some people out there saying, do you move Brew McCoy to the other side and kind of have him matched up with Jalen Hyatt on that other side?
I think that's what you have to do. If Tillman can't go in this football game, I mean, your quarterback, you can throw to whichever side of the field you want to, but I mean, Hendon Hooker's a right-handed quarterback. When he drops back, he looks that right side first. So it's just, that is what it is. And that's where they like to pair up Tillman and Hyatt, Tillman and Bayless in the slot last year. I would move Brew over, and I would just kind of, mix and match or Keaton and Walker Merrill on the other side. Or what you could do is you could experiment by taking Hyatt and putting him on the outside and then putting Squirrel in the slot. I think that you could see a little bit of both. We'll see if Cedric Tillman can play. I mean, it's still kind of early in the week right now, and things can change as the days go on. But I think they'll have to do a couple of different things to try to replace what Cedric Tillman means for this offense. But I think it'll be a good opportunity for Brew if that's the case. I mean, he's looked good in the early going, but if Cedric Tillman's not in the fold, I mean, those are a lot of targets that got to go somewhere. And I like what I've seen from Brew McCoy. So moving him over, I think, is almost a definite, but also maybe experimenting with Hyatt on the outside and Squirrel wide in there at slot. I think you see a little bit of both of that.
Yeah, I'm excited to see. I just think there's more talent in that wide receiver room. At least I hope so. I say that, and then I kind of back down off of it. You go back to Golish saying we got 7, 8 guys we're going to rotate, but then we saw what that Pitt game looked like. It wasn't 7 to 8 guys. They had their 3 guys they were counting on, so can a guy like Walker Merrill, Ramel Keaton, somebody step up and kind of fill the shoes for Cedric Tillman? Well, look, I'm not going to ask you to give me a score prediction. We'll take the time to plug VolQuest. You can go to volquest.com. You guys do the picks are in, and you guys usually drop that on. When does that come out? Friday, typically?
Yeah, about Friday at lunch.
Yeah, Friday the picks are in. Is that deal still on3.com, volquest.com? Is that still $1? Are they still offering that, or did they shut that down?
Yeah, no, it's $1 for a year. So if you have never been a member of VolQuest, kind of wonder what that community is like, no better time than right now for a year of access. It costs only $1. It's not going to be like that for forever, but it is for now. So take advantage. No better time than Florida Week to pay $1 for a year of access. VolQuest.com.
You guys know, I say VolQuest almost every day. I say VolQuest, or I say Hub said, or Eric Cain said, or AP said, or Rob. I say it all the time. You guys know I've been a member of VolQuest, I don't even know how long, forever. And then when they made the jump to On3, that's immediately where I'm going. I don't care what it's called, where it's at. I'm following you guys. So go check out that deal, guys. You can't beat $1. Evan Counts, speaking of dollars, $50. Thank you for the generous super chat. You guys making me play the clip with Eric on the show again. But I'll do it. I'll play the clip. $50 ain't cheap, so we'll play the clip.
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 Million Man.
I feel that that time frame is only fitting when I've got my Mega Powers shirt on today. It's
hey, Evan's the man. Evan jumps in my comments almost daily on Locked On Vols. Evan, I appreciate you. I see the comment. Would love to experiment with live show in the future, but I'm happy to be here right now. But I appreciate you, Evan.
Yeah, you got to get into the live streams, man. You drop your regular show every day, and then you do like a once a week live stream. I'm telling you, man, the interaction, which you've seen it being on here. You guys do some of that stuff at VolQuest now. That's where it's at. Evan counts for $50. That ain't cheap. Once again, pay-per-view worthy. Boogie, don't play the clip. Let's keep the show rolling. It's too late. I have to play the clip. Eric, love how you deal with the haters in the comments on your show. Wish we could super chat your show. Thanks, Boogie. Well, stay tuned. I'll get old Cain talked into doing some live streams soon enough. I think you would enjoy it. Let's we got one more question, and we'll wrap it up and get you out of here. But like I said, go check out VolQuest for the actual predictions, so you can save that for Friday. But what's your keys to victory? What does Tennessee have to do to get over the hump, get over the hurdle, and get a win against the Gators on Saturday?
Well, I'll say this real quick. This isn't really a key to victory, but I'm really intrigued to see how Tennessee runs the football against Florida, because I don't know what Tennessee is in terms of a running team. They've beat up 2 MAC opponents with 200 yards on the ground, and that's great. Didn't even really try to run the football against Pitt. So I'm intrigued to see what it looks like. And sure, Dylan Sampson, Jabari Small, what's the status? We'll have to see as the week goes on. But a key to victory defensively, you've got to keep Anthony Richardson in the pocket. Kentucky had the blueprint. They kept him in the pocket. They made him throw, and it was bad. I think he's a little banged up right now. Everybody down in Gainesville is saying he's just fine. If he's just fine, he will run against Tennessee. He will. If he doesn't, that means he's a little bit limited. Regardless, keep him between the tackles and make him try to win this football game with his right arm. Offensively, just go out there and do what you do. Even if Cedric Tillman is not out there, just air it out. Run your offense, tempo. Throw it up there to Brew. Explosive plays on the outside. Don't change a thing offensively. Just, you're the third highest scoring offense in the country, third in total yards in a season so far. So just keep it up, and I like Tennessee in this game. I'll give you official prediction on Friday, but I do like Tennessee in this football game.
Yeah, battered Vol syndrome is real. Like, you look at
doubt.
the analytics, the numbers, the predict, everything is in alignment for Tennessee to go win this game. But that's why you play the games. You got to go
won't
take
be
care
easy.
of business.
It never is.
No, something will happen. There will be some storyline coming out of the game that we're all talking about on Sunday morning. But look, man, I appreciate you coming on, Eric. We're going to keep doing more of these crossovers as we move through the season. Get your plugs out there. I've got your Twitter, your YouTube. I got everything down in the description below, so guys, make sure you go check it out. But still, drop them, let them know where they can find you and keep up with you.
Yeah, just on Twitter, you can find me just about every day. You can find me in the comment section on my YouTube show. Just search Locked On Vols. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And VolQuest.com, $1 for 1 year. I'm on that on the daily, on the General's Quarters. Come and chat. And also, again, love being here. Boogie's going to be on Locked On Vols tomorrow morning, so be sure to listen to Locked On Vols. And please, if you haven't already, please subscribe. Any Locked On Vols fans out there that just caught this live stream that aren't subscribed to this channel, help them get past 15K before the show ends.
We always talk about it. You cannot consume enough Tennessee content. So let's all work together, build Eric's platform, build this platform. And look, I'm not going to drop a video in the morning. I'm going to get up around 8 o'clock, and I'm going to plug that video on this channel. So I'll post out the link in our feed so you guys will see that twice. But go give that a listen. I'll drop a video a little bit later in the day. We'll have our live stream tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. But Eric, thanks for coming on, buddy. Look forward to more crossovers in the future.
Dude, anytime, man. Appreciate you.
All right, later, buddy. All right, we're going to open this thing up to a fan call-in show, but I got this guy. How did I downgrade? How did I downgrade from such a good-looking, well-talking, witty person? See how I spit things out? Well-talk. What does well-talking even mean, Dauber? What does well-talking mean?
I don't know, but I can well-talk about anybody.
All right, let's do it. We were laughing this morning. They were making fun of Xavier because he kept saying like I said. I was like, man, come on. We all got those little ticks that we say to get us through the next statement. But let's plug some merchandise real quick. Let me go ahead and post out the link for the fans to call in. It's out there for Talkin Vols Elite. That's if you're a member of this channel. You donate $9.99 a month. You can go check out that link. It is on the YouTube feed. Go to our YouTube channel, click on Community tab, and you'll see the link. I'll kind of go down the list and continue to post it. But look, you guys were on me this morning in the morning show. You said, Boogie, we want a shirt, and this is what we want it to say. And I said, I'm not so certain. I don't think that we can do that. So I kind of went back and forth, had some conversations. We got it done in a matter of minutes, but this is limited edition. If you want one of these shirts, if you want one, you better get one because they're going to be gone, and they're going to be gone soon. Buck Fama limited edition. You can see them right there. Bonfire.com/store/Talkin Vols. If you want one of these shirts, you better get in where you fit in because I don't know how long we're going to leave that thing up. So go check it out. You guys asked for it, so we got it out there. Go grab one. They'll be gone. I'm not going to tell you when, but they ain't going to last long. So go check them out. You can check out all the other merchandise if that's not really your style. And I get it. If you're like Boogie, come on, man. You're crossing the line. I get it. But this is for the fans, by the fans. You guys asked for that shirt. But if you want some other stuff, go check out the regular merchandise. We would appreciate the support. Again, bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. The link to that is also in the description below. Dauber, what's up, buddy? How excited are you for Saturday?
Oh man, it's Florida Hate Week. Feeling pretty good. It's been a while since we've entered Florida Week. You know, not just feeling, just the momentum that this team has, and just the way things are going. But man, like Eric Cain said just a minute ago, there have been more than one occasion that we've entered this week. The better team on paper, more than likely the better team on the field, and found a way to come out on the wrong side of it. So just hope they keep rolling like they have. Hope that the guys that got a little banged up are back. You know, most, 100% would be ideal, but got to have the running backs. I saw who'd they have? Warren running some third string. Princeton fan.
He's the emergency running back.
That's a little concerning, but you hope that everybody else can get in and be effective. Kind of holding breath on Tillman, see what happens with him, and if he can give it a go. I'd rather keep him healthy for the rest of the year than risk him for one game, because there are a lot of other athletes that we can mix in around at the wide receiver position. So excited. Ready for Saturday.
When's the last time Tennessee went into this game favored by 10.5 points?
Man, that's the thing right there. The national love that is following this team right now. That's something that we've not seen in a while. The love from Vegas, going on the road to Pitt in a game against a ranked team and being favored. That's something that this team has not seen since probably the heydays of the 90s,
Brady's recount is amazing. What did I miss? Boogie Brady's recount is. Why do I never know what you guys are talking about? I never know what's going on. I never know what you guys are talking about. Man, I'm just excited, but it feels like we've been here before, and it's just like I was talking about with Eric. It just feels like this is the turning point. But like you said, it's different when we come on here as fans and, talking about buying into every coach, buying into Derek Dooley, buying into Butch Jones, buying into Lane Kiffin. Vegas is different. Vegas isn't putting out odds because they think with their heart, not their head. They're putting out odds because they're trying to make money. Yeah, they're trying to make money. That's what they're doing. Renegade Cheetah in the chat says 340 people watching, only 150 likes. Change that, Vol fans. Yeah, I heard if you didn't hit the like button that it means that you're a Gator fan. That's what I heard. That's what I think Sammy P or one of those guys say. Man, I'm trying to go back up. There it is. Gabriel, this is the way I like to do business right here. Gabriel Isaac becomes a member of the channel, becomes a member of Talkin VAWLS Elite, and then watch. He's the first one to pop into the show, and he's the only one in the green room. What's up, Gabriel?
How's it going, y'all?
Good. How are you, buddy?
Pretty good, man. Excited to get on here and talk some UT football. I actually had to upgrade my membership. I became a member earlier. I actually had to upgrade it to get on right now because that's how excited I am for this week and what's going on. So
that's what I love to hear, buddy. So how are you? Are you feeling confident or excited, anxious, nervous? Like it's Tuesday. My mood, my anxiousness, my gut feeling will change as the week rolls on. How you feeling right now on Tuesday?
Man, I'm excited, but I'm really just trying to block out the nerves. You know what I mean? Because they're coming up. I'm only 20 years old, so I've never gotten to see Tennessee be good against Florida. I have never seen Tennessee. I think I have consciously watched Tennessee beat Florida once in 2016. So But I still know the significance of it. So, we're gonna see. But I'm excited. I feel confident about it. But at the same time, I know it's been said like probably hundreds of times already, and it's only Tuesday. But battered ball syndrome, man, it's real.
Yeah, especially
really
for somebody your age. Evan Counts for 2. Thank you for the super chat. Says, y'all get the kids out of the room for this show. Yeah, don't take your kids to Neyland Stadium either. I hear that's a wasted ticket. Thank you for the super chat, Evan. Alec Conklin for 5. Thank you for the super chat. Buck Famous shirt ordered. Little mad at us bigger fellas got to pay more for fabric. Just saying, yeah, that's out of our control. I have nothing to do with that. That's all bonfire.com. It's the world we live in. Like, I think usually you get like a 2X, 3X. The price starts going up. I get you. I'm with you.
I feel that too, man.
Yeah, I've been there, done that. Feel your pain, my man. But thanks for picking up a shirt. We appreciate that support. Gabriel, you said you're 20 years old, so you've seen Tennessee beat Florida once. We were talking about this on the morning show earlier today. Each generation, like the older guys hate Alabama. Yeah. The guys that our age, a lot of people mine and Dauber's age, really hate Florida, and that's because of the late 90s, early 2000s. And it was a different time, man. It's like we were talking about with Xavier. It was so fun that it's an early game. If Tennessee beats Florida, they're going to the SEC championship. You ignore the rest of the season because you just knew if they beat Florida. So who's the team that you hate? Who do you hate as a 20-year-old? Who do you hate more than anybody, and why?
Well, actually, it is Florida, but probably not for the reason that because I didn't catch the stream. I watched it in post, but not for the reason you were saying about how the competitiveness of it. But man, I've just always hated Florida coaches, Florida teams. I growing up, I just used to hate any Tennessee rival. But eventually you learn to respect Alabama and Nick Saban, and you learn to respect the other teams. But man, I could never get in with Will Muschamp, Jim McElwain, I couldn't get in with those guys, man. The way they were and the way they coach their teams to play Tennessee, man, it's like Florida players just always know how to just be the worst. I mean, like you saw DJ Irons, the Akron QB out there, just running his mouth the whole time this past Saturday. It seems like that's just what Florida was, to Tennessee. And as a kid, I saw it. I was like, oh, that's just nasty. I hate those guys. So it's still Florida for me. I mean, I've learned to respect most other rivals at this point. Georgia maybe now a little less. That's just how it is when a team gets as good as Georgia. But yeah, it's still Florida for me. Just maybe not for the same reason as y'all were saying earlier this morning.
Guys, this is a fan call-in show. Gabriel's living the dream, man. He's just the third host right now. Everybody else is not coming in here, and that's fine. We'll sit here and talk to Gabriel all night. But the link is out there for – let me go ahead and put it out there for everybody. I'll put it out there for all channel members. I've kind of gone one by one, but I think if I don't say it, they don't go back and look. Let's get Seth on the show. What's up, Seth?
What's up, everybody?
How's it going?
What's happening?
How you feeling on this Tuesday evening?
Oh, I'm feeling pretty good now. You tell you what, Boogie, let me tell you what you've done for me.
Uh-oh.
I've had severe battered ball syndrome for the last week. Ever since we beat Akron, I'm like, oh, God, we're playing Gators next. Okay, we can do it. No, we can't. We can't. But now you got me confident. We're going to win this. We got this.
How did I get you confident? I'm still trying to get myself confident.
Hey, man, you just putting out banging content. We're good, man.
It's that Schofield video, man.
I'll tell you what, that right there, funny enough, whenever I saw your video earlier, I had about an hour between one of my measures at work, and I was just sitting there at the Chick-fil-A parking lot just eating and listening to the live stream this morning. I was like, And then that video popped up, Admiral. I was like, oh, God, I want to get on the field now. Let's go.
The bad thing is when I start getting people hype, and that's typically the off season, I get people pretty hyped up. And then if I drop one little piece of critical information, everybody says I'm a negaball. They turn on me like that just because I'm so positive and optimistic. But, hey, I point out, I call it like I see it. Joshua Holly for 10, thank you for the super chat. Heupel is the turning point. Other coaches could ride on previous team talent. Hype had nothing last season, produced consistent performance. Vols will destroy 17 points at least. Let's get some more people on here. Bradley's in the house. Don is here. The kid is in the house. The X Factor is here, and Jordan is here.
What is up?
On the road.
Let me throw it to the kid. Jordan's always driving. He's got that headset on, though. It's safe. Everything's safe.
I'm out here in Tejas right now.
Hey, that's where I am.
Or as we like to say, the home of the fake UT.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was about to say. They're repping the real UT down here with the Tennessee sweatshirt. Man, I get on so many people about
this
that.
is actually the Tennessee shirt that I bought at the Akron game this past week, and that was great atmosphere. And and what's funny, I sat next to a guy who was from Huntsville, Alabama. He had never been to a Tennessee game. He said, well, I live in Huntsville. I'll go check it out. He bought tickets for like $20. And I asked him, I said, how'd you like it? He said he'd been to Bryant-Denny Stadium numerous times, and he said Neyland was much better.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Let me go back up here and get this. $2 from Evan Counts. Thank you for the super chat. Imagine the big three respecting us. That was the 90s. Also, Joshua Holly becomes a member of the channel. Appreciate that support. You've got access to come on the show, too. Robert, I see you in the back there. We can, wait a second. Can I have – okay, we can have 10. I couldn't remember if we could have 10 or 9. We can have 10 on. So everybody's on here. If anybody else starts to come in the back, we'll start to rotate people out. Let's see. Who am I going to put on blast? Let's put the kid on blast. Elijah, that super chat that came in a little bit earlier from Joshua talking about Heupel being the turning point. You think the success he had in year one has kind of changed our expectations here 4 weeks into year two?
100%. I mean, you look at where we were 2 years ago or a year and a half ago where Pruitt left, and we thought it was going to be 5-6 years before we were going to be bowl eligible again. Before it'd be 10 years before we signed another 5-star recruit. I mean, what they're doing here is outstanding, and I couldn't be happier. You know, nervous about the Florida game, but like you said, Boogie, you made a good point. It's a lot like the Ole Miss game was leading up to. Really excited about where we're headed.
That Ole Miss game felt different. It felt like the old days. You actually cared. Here lately, I feel myself caring less. Don, I don't think we've ever seen. Have you ever been on a fan call-in show before?
No, I haven't.
Awesome. Well, glad to have you on here. Let me ask you the same question I asked Gabriel a little bit earlier. Who's the team you hate the most and why?
Well, Alabama would be mine. Of course, I'm probably one of your senior members. I'm at the double six, so I've been around a little while and seen a lot with the Vols. Followed them for many, many, many years. Actually, the first game I ever got to see was 1982 when the Vols beat Bear Bryant's last season.
Nice. Did you storm the field?
Oh, absolutely. I was in the student section. I was 7 rows up behind the Alabama bench, so they got to hear me.
Yeah.
but to say I hate Bama worse, I lived 16 years in Alabama, so I was around a lot of Bama people. Moved there, we beat them, and then we went on 11-year drought. So I got to hear a lot, and I got to eat a lot of crow. So I do have battered Vol syndrome for sure. But go ahead.
I was going to say, you are a bit older than Boogie and myself, but we're in our 40s, and growing up through the late 80s, 90s, and into the 2000s, I think anybody that was a Tennessee fan, but especially somebody our age, we were spoiled by 10-win seasons. That was just the norm. You get to November and you're playing Vandy, Kentucky, South Carolina, and that's 3 wins to get ready before the bowl game, and that's the way it was. And things have just flipped, and there's parity in college football, and then you've got what's going on now with NIL and the transfer portal and all that, and I think that is something that has helped this coaching staff and this team turn the corner a lot quicker and cause those expectations in year 2. I do think they overachieved last year. And you look at the end of the season that Hendon Hooker had, and that set expectations for him as well. And coming through the first 3 games, people are saying, oh, he's off. There's something wrong. It's not the Hendon Hooker from last year, but his numbers are, not much different than they were last year.
Yeah, we're
but
only
those
3 games in,
expectations are so much higher.
Exactly.
And that was going into the Ole Miss game last year, which is the same thing with this game. But I think the expectations are even higher. Like, the goalpost shifted last year, right? It's like, oh, we got to win. Like, people said I was crazy for saying they were going to win 6 games. People were making videos about me in their truck. No disrespect, Jordan, but they were riding around in their truck making videos about me, saying that I'm delusional and know nothing about football. Well, then they go win 7. Where's my apology video at? I've been waiting. For months. There's no apology video. Gabriel, we got a few people trying to come in. We got to rotate around. I want to get as many people as we can on, but I appreciate you jumping on the channel. Give me a score prediction, then we'll let you drop out of here.
If Tennessee executes, I'm saying 45-24 Vols.
Oh, I like it. Well, I appreciate you joining the channel. We're going to do another tailgate show on Saturday at 2:30. So if you have an opportunity, jump back in here. We'll get you back on the show.
All right.
Get fired up an hour before kickoff.
All right. See y'all then.
All right. Thanks for jumping on, buddy. All right. Let me open up some room down here in the green room. Daniel Ellis is in the house. What's up, Daniel? We also got Brian Fields here. I'm gonna keep going around the room and asking this same question to everybody that comes in. Daniel, I think this is your first time on a fan call-in show too. Is that right?
Yeah, it is.
So who's the team you hate and why?
Well, I don't really have that much involvement to hate anybody or any team, but I like the Vols, and I like watching you guys.
So you don't have, like, I mean, if somebody mentions the Georgia Bulldogs, my blood starts to boil. Like, I get angry almost. Like, there's nobody that gets you that fired up.
No, at my age, no.
At your so is that what it is?
Fired up at my age.
What about you, Brian? Hopping in the show here beside Daniel. What about you? Anybody who gets your blood boiling?
Hey, what's up, Boogie? Honestly, Florida. Can't stand Florida, never have. I know that we've been down on them for a while, but that's just I respect Alabama. I dislike them, but I respect them for what they do. But outside of that, Florida, if that's one school that I wish it would just stop having a football team, it'd be them.
I think that's maybe the big difference, and I said that on the morning show. You respect Alabama and Nick Saban, but I don't really respect Florida. And now Georgia just makes it worse, winning a national championship. What about you, Robert? Anybody out there you despise?
Yeah,
win a little bit more.
I'm a little older than y'all, so when I started watching the Vols, I moved to Tennessee in '85, and it wasn't long after that we started our run against Alabama, where they went through the 3 Mikes and Dennis Franchione, and they were having problems with coaching. So Alabama really wasn't an issue, but Florida was. You had Spurrier always running his head like he always did, and then of course Peyton never was able to beat them. So they were always the team. They were normally the 3rd game of the season, and like you said, if we beat them, we're going to SEC championship. But we were having a hard time beating them then. So I would say Florida is the team I hate the most. But I did live in Alabama for about 15 years, so I have a lot of friends that live in Alabama. But it was during the time that we were thumping them every year, and it was great. It was great to be a Tennessee fan, in Alabama back 96, 97 up through the early 2000s, because I was walking around and said, yeah, we're going to beat y'all's ass again this year. And it would happen every year, And now I'm hearing it from them, oh, hey, don't worry, y'all still rebuilding next year. I know. So I'm hearing it from them, what I was giving to them 10, 12 years ago. So, or longer than that now, 15, I guess. But
it's just funny because like Gabriel.
Florida is the team that I want to beat every year.
Gabriel talking about, not seeing Tennessee have success.
Yeah.
And then it's I know a lot of younger Alabama fans, and it's kind of like they're the spoiled generation now.
Yeah.
It's the shoes on the other foot. But like you said, Fulmer owned Bama for a long time. And before Nick Saban, they went through the same deal we're going through right now. They went through the same
and that's
deal.
what I always point out to those guys. I say, y'all forget about the 3 Mikes, and most of them remember, Dubose and Shula, and they forget about Mike Price even being hired and fired before he coached the game. So, but yeah. But now they're pointing out, oh, y'all can't get a good coach. can't win a team. You're still rebuilding, been rebuilding for 20 years. So I'm tired of hearing that talk. I hope it ends this year.
Well, that's Robert. You bring up a good point, and a lot of the younger fans, especially, don't realize in all these rivalries, it's been a cycle. You know,
Yeah.
Tennessee and Alabama went back and forth a couple times. Of course, we're on the wrong end of that right now. We had a run against Florida. Of course, Georgia, we were big time run on them, and that's recently just flipped. You know, in the last little bit. So it's one of those things. Saw a couple of people in the chat throw Vandy out. You know, I hate Vandy because they've got the little brother syndrome.
Yeah.
You know,
There you go.
I wonder if that's a younger person. You think it's a younger person?
It might be.
They're baseball fans.
But you know,
Yeah, they are.
They're like, it's the off-season baseball show.
I think I heard Boogie say it was a Vanderbilt game when the first time Vanderbilt had beat Tennessee. I was in Lexington when Kentucky beat Tennessee and had like 6 yards passing. You know, me and my son drove up there and we left and he didn't talk for like 2 hours. He was like, "That was Kentucky." I said, "I know, son. You'll probably never see it again." Well,
Yeah, I went to that Vanderbilt game with me and Snake went together, and our wives went with us. We bought 4 tickets. We paid $10 total. We got in. That's how bad that season was. And then we sat there and watched them lose.
Well, that Kentucky game was so bad that halftime all the Kentucky fans were like, "Well, when are you going to put it on us?" I'm like, "I don't know, but they better hurry up." And we never did. I'm telling you, there was a long drive from Lexington to Crossville, Tennessee, which is normally about 3 hours. It seemed a lot longer than that. So,
Let's not get depressed. Let's get excited. Let's get excited.
That is not. That's not this year.
Bradley, are you have you been to many games live in person? Have you ever been inside an Neyland Stadium?
Oh yeah, I've season tickets. I'm 20. I'm kind of like Gabriel with the whole, you know, Butch Jones is the best coach I've had the pleasure of watching.
Oh, sweet.
You know, record-wise, he's the best coach I've ever watched.
I'm sorry.
Now, I really think Josh Heupel has a chance this year to take over that as the record holder of the most wins I've ever seen in a season, which is, I think, 9. But yeah, the whole thing of hating Florida, I hated Florida so much, and then we won in 2016. I was at the game. And then now I hate Alabama the most because I have never been conscious enough to see us beat them yet. And we've been close.
So what's the biggest victory? Probably I guess the Florida game is probably the biggest win you ever witnessed live and in person.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it has to be.
I can't really think of any other close second, honestly, besides that.
That's probably the biggest one I was actually at live. Dauber, what's the biggest game you ever win you ever saw live? That 2016 Florida's pretty big, but
that's up there. You know, I've seen. I think the Arkansas 7 overtime. That was pretty wild. 98 Florida game. I was in the upper level, and it literally felt like the stadium was shaking. But I was talking to a guy at work today. I do feel I was at the Oklahoma game and the a couple years ago in the Ole Miss game last year. I don't know if it's because at those games I was in the lower level versus being in the upper level, but I feel like both of those games were louder than the Florida game in '98. But I've had some really good times in Neyland. I'll have to say the majority of the games I've stuck it out until the end. There was a Georgia game probably 3 or 4 years ago that I ended up leaving at halftime. That is probably the only game I've ever left early. I just headed back to the tailgate and was drowning my sorrows, man. Because it was, you know,
got the ball of Everclear.
We did the Follow the VAWLS series, and just it kind of was a realization of where we'd been and where we actually were at that point in time. So it feels good when I first came on today talking about the positivity right now. The national media has some love for Tennessee, and it goes beyond just, you know, the fans like us talking about it. It's the pundits. It's Vegas. They're favoring Tennessee. So it's good to see.
I wonder when the last time that was.
2016, we were 5-point favorites.
Really? Okay. I was about to say, it might not even been. This might be the first time in my life that we've been favored. This is the most we've been favored by in my life, 100%.
Has to be. Yeah, it's up to what, 10 and a half now?
Yeah.
It's 11.
Depends on the book. Yeah, I saw 11 somewhere, which is like 10 and a half, I think it was. Not 11.
That's a lot.
And here's a good little thing for you. Josh Pate says that in his system, we're favored by 14.
What's his system?
He does some kind of model or something.
Yeah, it's like numbers, analytics, data. Kind of like the ESPN FBI, I believe.
Yeah. I was talking to my friend about the whole, how they have the whole decimal thing that they show on third down. How accurate do you really think that is? Because theoretically, the Ole Miss game last year was the one that set the record at, I think, 118 or whatever. I think there has to have been louder games than the Ole Miss game last year, right?
My dad said the 98 Florida game was the loudest he's ever heard the stadium.
I've heard people say that Oklahoma game that Admiral Schofield did the video on was pretty.
Yes.
That game
I was
there,
at that game.
114.
Yeah, that game there. I remember watching it on TV and the broadcasters having to yell at each other, beside each other, to hear each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they show videos and stuff on YouTube, but that doesn't do it justice. Like that,
no,
you can't tell by watching a YouTube video how loud it is.
I tell you what, it's going to be rocking Saturday.
Yeah, but I say we're going to get loud this Saturday.
What you guys think? Did you guys see the clip I played from Billy Napier at the top of the video? Were you guys in here for that? Have you guys heard the comments he said? It's just going to be just a little bit louder.
Yeah, just a little bit louder.
You guys know he's from Cookeville, Tennessee, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I've seen people was posting about that in the chat, and I was like, is he really from Cookeville?
Yes. He's from Cookeville. His dad coached at Murray County High School in Georgia, which is where I'm from. Billy was one of the better quarterbacks, sadly, in our high school for many years. And his dad was a good football coach, but Billy's a little sideways. Of course, he's at collegiate level, so I give it to him there. Of course, I'm not, but I remember him always being a little sideways.
Gibbons a little.
Who's the ones from Murray County, if you don't mind me asking?
The Indians.
Oh, no. Who said something about that they were from Murray County?
So Billy Napier's dad, Bill Napier, coached at Murray County High School. Mm-hmm. And Billy played for Murray whenever his dad coached there.
That's awfully funny because where I'm from, Polk County, Tennessee, is right up the road.
Yep, I'm living in Cleveland, Tennessee now.
Yeah, I know exactly where you are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
you're not too far from Chattanooga.
No, heck no.
Exit 20. Exit 20, you get off, go down APD 40 to get off on Highway 64. Once you make it to the McDonald's, you're in Polk County.
Why is it we get on here to talk about Tennessee football?
I got a family member in Polk County, man. I know.
Jordan always wants to turn it into the Polk County, talking Polk County. Trying to talk about Tennessee, Florida. The chat's yelling. Well, some of them are telling me to shut up, and then you got Cameron in the chat cheering on Polk County. What is this? Yeah. Where are we? What has happened? Nathan.
That's the greatest place in the world. Ocoee River, whitewater rafting. We held an Olympic event, by God.
This is the most accurate statement of the night. Boogie's lost complete control of this show. N5 says this is the Jordan show. Yeah, we got to rotate some guys. Yeah, we got to rotate some guys on. We got two more people waiting in the back to come on. I don't know who the first one on. Two people that got here early bounce off.
I think
I'll see you guys.
I'm giving you my score prediction.
Okay, yeah, give me a score prediction, then bounce out.
41-28.
Would you bet your life savings on that?
41-28. I'd bet a good amount. Maybe not my life savings, but a good amount.
I like the confidence. Thanks for coming on, Bradley. I hope you'll jump on Saturday, 2:30, an hour before kickoff.
I don't know. The internet might be shaky.
Oh, you'll be at the game. Okay. Well, have fun, man, and go Vols. Thanks for jumping on.
No problem.
Hey, if I could tell you something, my youngest son, who's a huge Vols fan. He lives and breathes Orange. He's enrolled at University of Florida currently. And
what?
His wife is a teacher in Gainesville, and but he doesn't faint from anything. I went to the Tennessee-Florida baseball game down there, and after we had the clean sweep, the hate for Tennessee really started rolling. I mean, my son has caught holy crap from everybody. And up until about 2 weeks ago, now all of a sudden they've all gone quiet, and they're all a few of them are admitting, we're starting to get pretty nervous about this game.
Yeah, I think the Florida fan base is on edge right now. I don't think there's very much confidence. I think I said it on one of the streams that I saw, a tweet saying they survived the South Florida game, yada, yada, yada. And then a Florida fan said, guys, let's not get excited because Tennessee's about to take out 15 years of anger on Saturday afternoon. I don't think they're very confident. Austin Denton for 5. Thank you for the super chat. Doesn't have anything to say. Just drops a tip in the old tip jar, which we appreciate. We got almost 400 people watching live. You guys dig this fan calling show, and I appreciate it. But if you're watching, you like it, make sure you guys do hit that thumbs up. Let's get a couple of more on here. We got Jeremy Bristol in the house and Dave Crutchfield. What's up, guys?
What's up, dude?
Welcome to the party. Just looking at you, Jeremy, you look like somebody that hates a football team. Who do you hate and why?
It's a bit of a story, man, because the sweet little native of Maryville, Tennessee, 1968 graduate of the University of Tennessee. You could not pay that woman. She's the one that made me a Tennessee fan. She took me to Neyland. I believe it was the 93 or 94 third Saturday in October game, and that was it, dude.
94.
It's been orange and white ever since. You could not pay that woman any amount of money to say anything positive about the University of Alabama. And it rubbed off on me, which makes family get-togethers kind of fun because I've got one little brother that's a Florida fan. I got two little brothers that are Georgia fans. One little brother's wife is an Auburn fan, but she grew up about 3 miles from Jordan-Hare Stadium, so that's okay.
Understandable.
And my other little brother and his wife are both Alabama fans. I'm the only one with any damn sense.
Exactly.
What about you, Dave? What about you, Dave? I think this is the first time you've been on the fan call-in show. Who's your big rival? That it just means a little bit more.
Well, hell, I live in Florida, so it's got to be the Gators. Obviously, I mean, how do you not hate Alabama? But it's the Gators, and
that's the thing. We hate them all. We hate Alabama. We hate Georgia. We hate Florida. We hate Vanderbilt.
All of them.
Is there an SEC team you guys like?
Tennessee.
Besides Tennessee?
No.
I'll be honest. I'll admit I did root for Ole Miss when Eli was there. I got a couple of Ole Miss hats. I got a golf towel, but that was only why Eli was there, and then that went out the window.
Well, and like I said, but I will say that now the only Gator that I do respect is Tim Tebow. That is the only Gator I respect.
Yeah, I'm a Tim Tebow fan.
I live less than an hour from the Arkansas state line, so Arkansas I'm okay with, but I go to the Mizzou game every other year, and I just can't hate them. It's more of a pity thing at this point because I was at that game last year. And their fans was leaving in the middle of the first quarter. I was just like, "Where y'all going? Stick around for this. It's gonna get ugly, and you're gonna hate it. And I'm gonna rejoice."
Well, Mizzou's not. I mean, their stadium looks like a Vanderbilt.
Yeah, does Missouri even count as an SEC team? Can we?
They shouldn't even be in the SEC. They should be in the Big 12.
Well, so should Texas and Oklahoma, but they're about to change that.
I tell you what, somebody needs to reach out to App State, though. App State needs to be in a conference somewhere.
ACC. Since they're in the
I'm
Carolinas.
surprised they're not in the ACC.
Yeah,
they will be.
I really am, too.
Can we trade Mizzou and Vanderbilt for UNC and Duke?
What about Clemson? Trade them for Clemson.
Yeah.
I want a piece of Clemson. They're on the way down.
Yeah.
Want Notre Dame to stay in the conference.
Let's get back on track. Let's get back to this Florida game coming up on Saturday. Who's being quiet? Seth, you're being quiet. What do you think? I asked Eric Cain when he was on here what his keys to victory are. What do you think Tennessee needs to do to go win this football game?
Get ahead early. Get ahead early on offense. Click on all cylinders to start with. Honestly, if we're up like we were 21-0 first quarter, like we were last year a few times, which we have not done really this year. But if we can get off to a good start, and on defense, just simply to stop AR from running. Make him pass it. He ain't going to beat us. His arm will not beat us.
I just saw somebody in the chat said that their middle linebacker, which he was out last week, is confirmed out again this week. And that's huge because you're talking about Neyland Stadium. Their first road game, they've got a true freshman and a redshirt freshman starting at linebacker in their first road game. And South Florida ran for almost 300 yards on them. It's going to be a huge opportunity. And I know Tennessee struggled to run the football against Pitt, but I think they're going to have an opportunity.
It might be a little loud too.
Maybe.
Oh yeah.
Maybe. You might hear a little bit of the crowd noise. Maybe.
They're going to hear me from the space station.
I'm sorry. I don't give Florida any chance in this game. I'm sorry. People, you might think I'm overconfident. How? Because look at Anthony Richardson. He's yet to complete a touchdown pass. Our defense is playing better this year. They're playing more aggressive. The reason that they didn't look good last year is because they had no depth on their defense, and they couldn't play aggressive because if they did, they'd have injuries.
Our backup, Joe Milton, looks better than Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
I think we win big. I think we run them out. I think Hendon Hooker has a Heisman day.
I hope you're right.
I hope you're right. Yeah, I'd love to see
Yeah.
it. You know, I'm really cautiously optimistic about it, but I can't bring myself to pull the trigger on calling for the big win that everybody else is. But then again, battered ball syndrome. But I'm not saying for the first time in years, I'm definitely expecting a win this year. I'm flat out, but I'm not calling it the big win that everybody else is.
I think that's where I'm at. Sitting here logically, I'm expecting a win. Battered Vol syndrome says, oh, yeah, Richardson has sucked. He has more tackles than touchdowns. Cool. Usually a backup comes in and throws for 350 and 8 touchdowns and sets records against Tennessee. That's what Florida does. We've seen it too many times for me to just ignore it and say, we're going to kill him. We're going to kill him. I'm with you, Dave. I don't have that confidence.
And here's the thing, too. Anthony Richardson's a little banged up. They said he's not, I guess they're going to be full health. It's just they have absolutely no depth at quarterback.
Yeah.
Well, we need to bang him up some more.
Exactly. Just do like they did Keaton Slovis.
Treat him like Pitt.
Play that aggressive defense.
Yeah,
I think the keys are
blitz.
Gap discipline, okay, on the D-line.
Yeah,
gap discipline.
Tim Banks going to blitz the far
Spy
right.
Banks. Banks, put Banks on him. Just send Jeremy Banks after
There
him
you go.
every damn play.
I expect Banks or Beasley to have a big night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beasley
even
said
Barron,
Not, but day.
I expect Tyler Barron to have a big day too.
I'm ready to see him come alive.
2 years to have a big day, and he hasn't yet.
Yeah, I've been waiting to see him come alive. His freshman season impressed me. After that, not so much.
Those young defensive linemen, are the ones I'm excited about the way they've played the last couple of weeks.
I'm excited about Elijah Herring at linebacker.
There you go.
Yeah, Elijah Herring.
Yep.
Yeah, Elijah Herring's the dude.
Yep.
The other thing, though, is we're all worried about Warren Burrell.
He just gets burnt, man. Like I said, on his route, he gets burnt every time.
There ain't no sense in worrying about him. He is what he is.
Well, and that's where I'm at. Do you think, to play devil's advocate, I don't think Christian Charles looked that great on Saturday. And so does this coaching staff just have more confidence in Warren Burrell?
Probably. And also, too, when you got a team trying to injure you, when you got a team trying to intentionally injure players, I mean, what do you expect?
Shout out to Kamal Haddon, though, who's actually quietly having a monster season.
Yeah, Kamal Haddon looks good. Austin Denton for 2, thank you for the super chat, says, how do I become a member? I'm glad you asked, Austin. There's a little join button down below. It's right beside subscribe underneath the video. If you hit that join button, You can become a member of the channel. It's as little as 99 cents a month, up to $10 a month. You get custom Talkin Balls emojis, access to this show. Also during live streams, particularly post-game streams when it's chaotic, I try to highlight member chats as we go. Sometimes there's so many people, it's hard to do. I hope you guys understand that. But want to rotate, get a few more people on here. Who else? Who's been on here the longest?
I'll get out.
I'm going to go ahead and get out.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll go too.
Don, I appreciate you coming on, man. You mentioned the difference in age. I love talking to guys that have been Tennessee fans longer than me and hearing their stories. A guy stopped me at La Coretta one time, and he must have been in his 80s, and I had a Tennessee shirt on. He said, "Are you a Tennessee fan?" I said, "Yeah." I must have talked to that guy for 20 minutes. Never met him in my life. I love meeting different ages, different generations of Tennessee fans, so thanks for jumping on.
All right. Thanks much, bud.
Later, buddy.
I need to get my grandfather on here. He was a season ticket holder for many years. He's in his late 70s. He's who got me into Tennessee football whenever I was about 5 or 6.
I love hearing people's stories. Why Tennessee, or just games they've been to.
Well, and it's awesome. I was working in South Bend, Indiana, had a Tennessee hat on. I was walking into Walmart, and the guy said, "Go Vols," and I just shot right back, "Go Big Orange." You know, I mean, and we, like you said, Boogie, we stood there for 15 minutes talking about Tennessee football. You know, and that's 2 miles south of the Michigan state line. You know,
it's instant. It's an instant connection when you see somebody else wearing that shirt.
Sir. But I'm gonna jump off here. 35-24, Big Orange.
Love it. Thanks for jumping on, Robert.
Yes, sir.
My wife, funny story. My wife's best friend, her and my wife met because she was wearing a Tennessee shirt. I was wearing a Tennessee hat, and we had never met in our lives in the commissary in Schweinfurt, Germany.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And now they're best good friends. They're sisters by another mister, and you can't separate those two with a crowbar.
Landon for 2. Thank you for the super chat. Says Tennessee 38, Florida 17 final score. Love it. I love it. Let me get Charles on here, Robert on here. They've been waiting the longest. Drummer Converse, I see you back there. We'll get you rotated on here in just a moment. Robert, how you feeling, buddy? You excited? It's Tuesday. Where you at?
Oh, man. I'm ready, Boogie. BVS is hitting me hard right now, but I'm hoping we lay the wood to them.
How come all of us that are a little bit older than the young pups like Gabriel, how come all of us are like, or not the young pups, the guys that have experienced, Jordan's up there so confident, but some of us that have been through the ringer for the last 17 years, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Now, I am old enough to remember the late 90s, early 2000s.
So does it feel like 98, Jordan?
Well, let's see how we go to Alabama first.
Somebody asked me today why I kept saying 8 or 9 wins and not 10. I don't think 10 wins that's the ceiling. That's the absolute ceiling.
I mean, I like the optimism, but you know, it's one of those got to see it to believe it deals.
Yeah.
We're talking about the back
been
end
so many times.
and Warren Burrell. I'm beginning to subscribe to Boogie's what he threw out last week, talking about just blitzing, sending the house, and not worrying about the back end.
Yep.
And I think that bodes well for this week. You've got a quarterback that has not been. Somebody's got the volume up a little bit.
No, it's echoing. You see.
You know, Richardson, he's not been consistent. He's not going to beat you with his arm. And we've had some people say that before. I think you contain him and you get pressure on him, man, it's going to end up being a long day for him.
Good. Somebody earlier mentioned gap integrity, staying in your rushing lanes. That's going to be key. Get after him, but you got to stay in your rushing lanes or he'll sneak out. And, you know, like Jordan said, Eric said it when he was on here. I heard VolQuest talking about it. They had a beat writer from Florida on. And AR might be banged up. And if he is, that's why he's not been running as much like he did in the Utah game. That Utah game is what scared everybody because he showed what he could do with his legs. And I know people talk about, oh, Utah's overrated. Maybe. But they're still a decent football game. Just because they're not just because they're not top 10 doesn't mean that they're not a good football team.
Correct.
The most
People take that-
amazing thing to me so far that I've seen is the fact that he has more tackles than touchdowns. He has not thrown a single passing touchdown yet.
There's no way that's ever happened in the history of SEC football after 3 weeks. There's no way.
Actually, technically, he does have a passing touchdown. It's just to a Kentucky cornerback.
So he has more passing touchdowns to the other team. He has more tackles than touchdowns, including the pick six. That's something special. That's something special for the Florida fan that's running his mouth in the chat, making an idiot of himself. I can't imagine being a grown man. Maybe it's a 12-year-old. I can't imagine being a grown man acting like that on the internet.
I mean, basically, Anthony Richardson is basically a wide receiver at quarterback. I mean, it's like having Cedric Tillman playing as quarterback. I mean, it don't mix.
Oh, by the way, is there any update on Cedric Tillman?
Day to day.
Day to day.
They probably won't say nothing on him until
we ain't gonna know anything until he suits up and gets on the field.
I'm surprised they said the running backs went through practice. That kind of surprised me. I figured they would just kind of let it sit, and nobody would have a clue.
Yeah. Well, hey, guys, I'm going to bounce off here, all right?
All right. Later, buddy. Thanks for dropping on.
We'll see you guys.
Hey, set the floor. Real quick question. What's going to be a bigger atmosphere? This is a Cleveland question. What's going to be a bigger atmosphere?
The chat's
this
dying to know.
Tennessee-Florida game? Hold on. The Tennessee-Florida game or the Bradley-Cleveland game?
Ooh. Just because of the sheer size of it, I'm going to say Tennessee, Florida. But I'm telling you that cutthroat Bradley, Cleveland, talking about family members slitting each other's throats, slashing tires. Yeah.
Oh yeah. 25th Street, the dividing line.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
It is. Very.
But all right, guys. See you later.
Later, buddy. All right, now we get drummer Converse on here. What's up, my friend?
What's up, fellas? How y'all doing tonight?
Good. How you feeling on this Tuesday?
Great.
Early in the week. We got some time till we get there.
Early in the week, I was filling out a place there for a minute. Didn't have any orange on, but then I see Boogie, you've got a wrestling shirt on, as do I. So now I feel like a little bit more part of the team now. So
What is it? What is it?
What we're working right now is a Kenny Omega shirt right there.
Oh, a fellow AEW fan, I see. See, I could be like Jordan, and we could talk about CM Punk. We could talk about the fight. We could talk about the suspensions.
Well, see, here's the thing, though. I was actually trained by Dr. Tom Pritchard over here at JPWA, and so
nice.
I'm
Robert
actually
Gibson.
kind of. I probably actually am probably more on the Punk side of things, a little more old school with how I was brought up there. But anyway, we're here to talk about Tennessee football, not get down.
That's right, my God.
I don't know. Jordan's here to talk about geography and maps and exit numbers, and I can't let it go. I can't let it go. I got to ask you. You trained with Tom Pritchard down there. Who all did you train with?
The people that I trained with, we've got one guy that was in my class that's actually down in WWE right now. If y'all watch NXT, the guy Stax is down there. He was a part of my class, and then also Ivy Nile was a class after mine. So we've got a couple of people that have made it big, and we've got some folks making their name down on the indies as well. So
you've been around Matt Sigmund much as he dropped in. Look, we got a name drop. Matt Sigmund, you know Matt Sigmund?
I did a couple of shows with him. Yeah, he's another fellow Dr. Tom guy as well. I've done a couple of shows with him. He's a good dude.
Yeah, I had a cup of coffee in wrestling long time ago. Long time ago. We'll talk about football. I could talk about wrestling all night. You guys know that. J Ryder 84 for 2. Thank you for the super chat. It's the 2014 game that puts that doubt in. Is it 2014 or is it what was the one?
13.
I remember that
the
game.
10 to 9 game. What about
14? I was at that game.
10 to 9 was 2014.
Was that for?
It was freezing cold.
What year was it? 21 to 20. Was that the score?
2006.
I think that was that.
2006. Yeah, Tennessee was up 20 to 7, and then they gave up a punt return and ended up losing 21 to 20. Me and Snake were at that game. We were sitting in the upper deck, and I leaned over and I said, "What do you think Tennessee will be ranked after this win?" And then it was just the most heartbreaking loss of all time. Steve Truitt for 5. Thank you for the super chat. Richardson will try to run the ball 12 to 15 times. I don't know, Steve, if he's healthy. If he's healthy, I think he will. If he's not healthy, we'll see. We'll see. If he does, I'm concerned.
That defense is going to hit him so many times. If he does that, it ain't even going to be funny.
I hope
so.
I hope it's like that Pitt game where, the backup, the third string, the fourth string running backs all looking at each other saying, I hope he's not hurt. I don't want to go in. That's the type of pressure they brought on Pitt. It was different, man. It was fun. Me and Xavier were talking about it this morning. Who in the world thought we were going to be talking about the defense going into this Florida game instead of the offense?
That was a surprise, definitely, seeing that
It's a
with
good
the
feeling.
defense there. But
yeah, it's a great feeling.
I'm hoping they can finally, though. I like the pressure, but hopefully we can start getting some sacks there. That was the thing. Is just, man, that half step too late and before after he throws the ball. Hopefully we can get Rich to the forward.
The sacks thing, I can do without, as long as we keep hitting him, and as long as we keep him incomplete, and as long as we stop him for losses and whatnot. I mean, I guess that's a sack, but you know what I'm saying. As long as we keep the pressure on him,
impact the game.
Yeah,
you put pressure and disrupt timing on passing plays, and you're golden.
James Moody with a good question here. Thank you for the $10, James. Appreciate it. Says, so reports are Small and Sampson are okay, but Tillman is out. What's the consensus? Losing them or Tillman this game, which would hurt us more? I think we need the running backs more. We have a deeper wide receiver room. Xavier, what do you think about that? Who do we need more? What would be more important, having Tillman or having the two running backs, Small and Sampson?
I think the running backs would be a concern because I feel like with Tillman, like I said, I mean, you got Ramel Keaton. You said we still got like Jay and Hyatt. We still got a deep wide receiver group. But yeah, I think I'll be more concerned about the running backs.
My God, we got Walker Merrill, man. What are you worried about?
Yeah,
exactly. You know who I wish we had as running back right now?
Jamal Lewis.
Ron Wright. That's who I wish we had as running back.
Walter Payton. Who you want at
Ron
fullback?
Wright.
Who you want at fullback? Don Wright? Whitey Caldwell?
Yes.
You want Whitey Caldwell out there at wide receiver? I can do this all day.
Why not throw John Kazana while you're in there too?
Austin
I
didn't.
thought he was going to. I thought we were about to throw a dog collar match in there for a second the way we were talking.
Hey, I'm down for that. I'm
Might
down
as
for
well
the
add
old-fashioned.
Stanley Morgan while we're
Throw
at
the
it.
chisel in there too while you at it.
Austin Denton becomes a member of the channel. We appreciate that support, man. You got access to these call-in shows and custom Talkin VAWLS emojis. Guys, show him what he's won. And we got that brand new X Factor emoji added just this week. Drop it in the chat. Xavier's beautiful face down there as a custom Talkin VAWLS emoji. Joel, certain Heisman Trophy winner for $20. Thank you for the super chat, Joel. If Spurrier is the guest picker, Vol fans may riot. This is a good question. I'm glad you said this, Joel. We're the home team. We want one of ours. Go Big Orange and piss on Fleur de. Let's just go around the room. Dauber, we'll start with you, and we'll just go around the circle here. Who would you go with for guest picker? Because there are some rumors about Spurrier. Surely to goodness they wouldn't do that. But what do you
Yeah, they
think?
would.
In 2016.
They would do it to us.
That's stupid.
I don't know. A easy pick would be Tony V. You know, he is like all the ladies love him. You know, he's got so much momentum and positivity, even after bowing out early, way earlier than they should have in the playoffs. You know, there's a lot of momentum with that football team. You know, and then of course I've seen all the love for Doug Barton. That'd be a home run too, I think. But I don't know. They've typically already announced it by now, haven't they?
I have no idea. I don't keep up. I watch game day, but I fast forward through most of it. I have no idea when they announce it. What do you guys think, Xavier? Who would you want to see? I'm with Tony Vitello's where I'm at. I think he's the perfect guy.
Yeah, I think I said it earlier in one of the previous shows. Like I said, I would love for Peyton to be there. I mean, despite the curse or however you feel about it, I feel like Peyton would probably be there. Peyton, and then I would say like, may say Candace Parker. Like I said, she probably would be there. Then I guess the third one, I ain't gonna lie, go ahead and say this third one, T. Martin. I wouldn't be surprised if T. Martin actually showed up.
Chat says that some say they announce it tomorrow or Thursday. Bradley says they announced it Thursday last week. Jordan, what are you saying? No. Don't tell me for 1 second that you're gonna sit here and
believes the
pretend.
Peyton curse.
You're gonna pretend that battered Vol syndrome ain't real, but you're gonna sit there all terrified about Peyton Manning. Come on, Jordan.
Okay, this is a curveball one right here. Outside of myself, I would say the guest picker should be, since I'm a member of the RHEC Nation, bringing old Ryan Upchurch. That would be gold right there.
All the way from Polk County, Jordan Culver's is going to be the guest picker. Thank you to Shadowless Pokemon Dimes for becoming a member of the channel. I see you in the back room. I see Sammy P back there. We'll get you guys on here in just a moment. I promised you guys an hour after Eric Cain left. We're at an hour, but we'll just keep on rolling. Billy Napier for 2. Good to see you in the chat, Billy. Wait till you hear that noise. He says, I got worms.
Hey, Boogie. Billy Napier is saying that Neyland Stadium is going to be a little louder than any other game. It's kind of like saying I'm just a little older than Xavier. You see the white in my beard here.
I don't know. Xavier, look at him. Xavier's getting old. How old are you now, Xavier? 24? 23?
No, I'm 27.
88.
Oh, so old, Xavier. 27 is so old.
I'm almost 30.
Let me warn you about something, Xavier, because
me and you are the same age, Jen.
I'm
40,
I'm
it goes
41.
downhill, bud.
Yes, I'm 41, and there are times it's like, man, used to I could eat pizza, have me a rum and coke, get up, go work out, and I was in the best shape of my life at 27. Now I look back and I'm like, I'm never going to be there again. Like when I talk about the glory days of when I felt the best, when I was the most athletic, like doing jiu-jitsu, like I could go and I could hit the gym, I could do jiu-jitsu, I could do boxing, I could stick around and shoot basketball. Like I'm talking like 4 or 5 hours worth of exercise and then wake up feeling great. Now I go to the mailbox and wake up sore, Xavier.
I can hurt myself sleeping.
Yeah. I just like, I must have slept wrong. I got to go to the chiropractor.
Sneeze and you pull a muscle.
So enjoy being 27.
Hey, listen,
it's all downhill from there.
Talking about Billy Napier, is it not a little reminiscent of some coaching hires
Bush
that we had
Jones
at Tennessee? Even go back before that, Dooley. I mean, the guy's only been a head coach for 3-4 seasons, cutting his teeth at the SEC level. I've said it before on this show. That is something I didn't agree with some of the hires that Tennessee has made. I think you hire a coach who's won in a big division rather than somebody stepping up to the SEC.
And that's why the comments about the noise, this ain't Louisiana. You're not coaching at Louisiana. Yeah, and you can make those comments. And I think he grasps, I think he understands the SEC and what Neyland Stadium is, just like I think Josh Heupel grasped it when he came here and he talked about tradition and the brand and all that stuff. But now, after that Ole Miss game, I think Josh Heupel said, oh, wow, this place is a little different. It's a little different than what I thought. It's crazy.
He doesn't know how real Tennessee fans act. Wait till he steps
That's
his foot in Neyland Stadium. He don't know how we act on game day.
Oh, it's going to get wild on him.
I
remember.
It was crazy too that they went and hired Billy Napier, because I was sitting there racking my brain. I could be wrong, but I was like, he didn't really beat any big names while he was down in Louisiana. I mean, you'd be better off going and getting Cincinnati, because at least Fickle beat Notre Dame at South Bend. I mean, at least you had somebody that had some big stadium, big game experiences of that.
Right.
Well, if you remember when we were going through our coaching search, Billy Napier was a name that kept coming up. I think we really lucked out there not getting him.
I think we lucked into hiring Josh Heupel. I really do.
Absolutely.
Let me get Pokemon Dimes on here. I need one more person to drop off. Sammy P dropped out. He disappeared. I don't know where he went. I need one more person to drop, and we'll get Pokemon Dimes on here for a few minutes.
Real quick, I'll be the one to bounce.
Boogie. I was going to say I'll bounce. Thanks for letting
give me a little
on.
something.
I just want to say, guest picker I'd like to see is Inky Johnson in 28-17.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one, Brian. Inky Johnson would be good.
Inky Johnson.
Inky would be good. Thanks for jumping on, buddy. Have a good night.
All right.
Austin Denton for 5. Thank you for the super chat. Should Milton have his own formation or play package? What's y'all's thought? I see a lot of people ask that. I don't. What are you going to do? Put him in to run the football? Hendon Hooker runs the ball better. Like I just don't see And a lot of people ask the question too. Can he play wide receiver or running back? No, he's a quarterback. He's the backup quarterback.
Yeah.
He might have a better arm than the starting quarterback.
He's definitely proved it. He's definitely proved in the Akron game that he is a quarterback.
Isn't it funny?
Oh, absolutely.
Everybody that hated on me last year is now, how can we get Joe Milton involved? There's no apology. There's no Boogie. Oh, you were right. We were wrong. Let me get Pokemon Dimes on here. What's up, buddy?
What's up?
How you feeling on this Tuesday? It's early in the week. We got a long way to go.
Yeah, I think positivity is the best thing we can do right now. I'm 34 years old, so I've lived through all of it, the good and the bad. Florida, to me, is the worst team in the SEC. Every player that they've had, every coach that they've had is always rude as hell to us. Rude to us. And even Muschamp, when he was there before he went to South Carolina, talking to the fans and talking to us on TV, the things that no matter who it is, when they're at Florida, they're always rude and just disrespectful. So that would be my most hated team. Plus, living through the years that I did, that was always the game, like y'all said, that mattered the most.
I think we look at Florida the way Vanderbilt looks at us. Oh, maybe Kentucky's probably a better one because there were a lot of times that Kentucky really should have beat Tennessee, and Tennessee came out with the win. And it's kind of the same way on the other side with Florida and Tennessee. Johnson Boyd becomes a member of the channel. Appreciate that support, man. You guys are rallying behind this channel by becoming members, and I'm going to go ahead and give the spiel again because I give it all the time. We're right around the corner. We're knocking on the door of 15,000 subscribers, which is absolutely amazing. And 15,000 people give 99 cents a month to this channel. Guess what? I'm going to pay for Xavier to quit his job. We're going to do the morning stream every day because you guys have been digging. Last 2 days, Xavier's like, Boogie, you want me to jump on? We'll do the morning stream. I'm like, let's do it. Come on, let's go. Be my wingman. We'll bring you more content. If just strengthen numbers. 99 cents a month. If you can make that sacrifice. If you can't, then don't. Hang out, watch the show, enjoy the show. Love to see you guys in the chat. Appreciate the support either way. Hit the thumbs up because it's free. Lucas Sharp for 5. Thank you for the super chat. Lucas, Tony V for game day, or we riot. I'm getting behind the Inky Johnson suggestion. I do like that. Other than that, man, I'm with Tony V. I'm with Lucas here. Tony V all the way. I think
They
he's
tried
perfect.
to get Dolly Parton.
Is that official? I see people talking about it, but I don't
I've
know.
also
that that's
heard them
official.
talking about Morgan Wallen.
Yeah, that's the name I keep hearing too.
Three quick things.
They had if you remember, they had Undertaker do some guest picking back there either a couple years ago when they did for Texas. I say, hey, you're in Knoxville, go get the other brother of destruction there and get Mayor Cain to be up there to be the guest picker.
I thought that would make sense.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
Three quick
down with
things.
that.
I gotta start getting ready for work. One, celebrity guest picker, WWE Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair, proud graduate of the University of Florida.
That's a good one.
Alum.
As long as it's anybody but Morgan Wallen, I would take the third shift janitor and not
I'll do it.
I don't even know who Morgan Wallen is, so that tells you all you need to know.
Basically, he made the mullet cool again. Why you see all these young boys having mullets now is because of Morgan Wallen.
Oh, I get it. Okay.
Literally.
Two, for those of us that can't be at the game, I'm going to be at work Saturday night listening to Bob Network Kessling. Pray for me. But for those of us that can't be at the game,
He ain't no John Ward.
we need apocalypse levels noise. I want to be able to hear Neyland Stadium from Southwest Missouri, y'all. They need to set off seismometers at the ag campus. That's how loud we need to be. Just absolutely give your all for Tennessee. I'm asking you guys, those of y'all that'll be at the game, do it. Make it happen. Third, 41-6 Tennessee. Richardson's no touchdown streak continues.
I agree.
Y'all have a good night. Go Big Orange.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you coming on.
Now, I have a question. Those nice Vols by 50 pictures I've been sharing on the page, what do y'all think about those?
I think I laugh every time I read them. Every time I read them, I laugh. I love them. Keep them going. Are you making them up or are you getting them somewhere else?
No, one of my friends posts them on his page and I just share them because I think they're hilarious.
Yeah, they
I
make
forget
me
what
laugh
this
every
week
time.
said. It was like Granger County Maters Tough taters, whatever, Vols by 50. And it's got a picture of Heupel standing there smoking a cigarette with a bottle of Jack Daniels.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I laugh every time.
I wish he would be that way. That'd be hilarious. Just uber confident.
I've got a different feeling about the Vols this year. Normally, I'm one of the nega Vols, as a lot of people like to call them.
Me too.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I'm not looking at the Florida game as a regular rivalry game this year. I'm looking at it as a little brother like we do Kentucky. I've not seen anything from Florida that scares me. And I think our boys are going to take care of business.
Man,
That
I
is so weird.
want to be there, but like there's that paranoia that still, as Charlie Burris talked about on A to Z Sports there, that Florida jersey's still on there. Something about this game, man. No matter how many times we're supposed to be up here in the last 17 years, we just can't get over the jerseys or something, man. I still got that concern.
Yeah.
I got one thing. I think you said that Florida jersey. Well, here's the thing. You know, that's us sitting here on this channel talking about it. I hope to God that the boys in the locker room, that's nowhere near anywhere near their thought process.
I don't think they think about that.
Yeah,
and that's something that we've talked about on our Wednesday shows before. Boogie, myself, JP, Snake. A lot of these kids, they don't have the connection to Tennessee or to whatever school they're going to, because they're using that as a step to the next level. Gone are the days of born in Tennessee, been a lifelong Vol fan. That's where I'm going. It's few and far between. You know, if you're not recruiting nationwide now, you want to bring the best guys in your state here, but you've got to go into Florida. You've got to go into Texas. You've got to go to California to bring the best talent to your school to play.
Absolutely.
You know, we talked earlier. I was at the '98 game. Probably ranks pretty high up there in my history of games, epic games being at Neyland Stadium. One of the lows would definitely have to be 2000. Jabbar Gaffney's phantom catch.
Oh, that's all over Twitter this week.
I camped out as a student, camped out overnight to get tickets, was sitting in the front row of the student section. Sat there for probably a good 30 minutes after the game with all my buddies. We were just waiting on the refs to come back out and be like, you know what? Yeah, that was wrong. But nothing ever happened. Well, I'm still waiting on that because he still hasn't caught that ball. But man, you know, just talking about, and that's what makes football awesome. You know, that's another thing we've talked about on this show. It's the moments you have, the memories you have, sharing it with people, and that's what makes the fan call-in show awesome. Is coming together with other fans and hearing the stuff you guys, you know, grew up watching, what you liked, the teams that you don't like. It's awesome to share that camaraderie and you know, just to hear your points of view.
Let me shout out.
I've been saying for a couple of weeks. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say shout out to Seth Justice. Appreciate you becoming a member of the channel. Appreciate that support. Go ahead, buddy.
Sounds like a wrestler.
I mean, Tennessee's yet to play, you know, their best game.
Yep.
Yet we're 3-0.
I agree with that.
We have played two terrible teams in Akron and Ball State. I think that they have held back clearly by the game plan and the way that they ran their offense. I think they showed a little bit of their hand with their defense, but I don't even think they completely showed it then. You can tell the level of play is, you know, miles ahead of last year. Miles ahead of Pruitt or Butch Jones or anything that we've seen in the last 15 years.
I agree.
This coaching staff is a different monster when it comes to what we've had and what we had even with, you know, even in the 90s. The game has evolved. And, you know, Nick Saban's talked about it. You got to evolve with the times. you can tell this staff is doing that. They see what works. It's about scoring points, and if your defense can just keep them under what you score, and with the way Joe Milton looked last week, that was like the most beautiful throw I've seen in years.
That was the
where
damnedest thing I've ever seen.
Just
I mean,
absolutely
it was
gorgeous.
insane.
65-yard dart. Couldn't have
And
threw
the
it any better.
camera couldn't keep up with it. You know what I'm saying?
No.
We have something that we haven't had in so long. I'm so positive, and I feel like you all do. You know, I'm close to your all's age. I know how good it was and how bad it's been. There is nothing like, you know, this team. Sorry, I know I'm stumbling and stuff, but I'm just excited for what the future with this team and where we're going. Our athletic director is incredible. He knows what we want, what we need. Our coaching staff, our head coach isn't like any other coach that we've had, which is a good thing. He's a player's guy, but at the same time, you can tell he knows what he's doing. Look at what he did with subpar, you know, university down in Florida, where
Central
they
Florida, yes.
won the national championship, beating Auburn, and you can just see it's a whole different air at the University of Tennessee. I grew up in Knoxville almost my whole life, and I worked at the games in the early 2000s, selling sodas and stuff. I know how a Florida game is. I was there when we won, a crazy one that everybody was screaming and singing, great to be a Tennessee Vols. So I've been there, and I think this is, and like y'all said, ESPN hates Tennessee. Everybody knows it, but look at what is going on with the national media in Tennessee.
You got to take notice when they become relevant. That's the thing. And a lot of times we get mad because I'm watching game day and they're not talking about Tennessee. What's because Tennessee sucked. That's why they weren't talking about it.
They don't have a choice this week.
Yeah, they're talking about the teams that are relevant, and now Tennessee's relevant. And like you said, they don't have a choice. You got to focus on it. Bays just in the chat said you got to win this game. Do you guys feel like I know Eric when he was on said it's not must win. It sure freaking feels like it's
absolutely
is. Absolutely is must win.
It's
time to end the drought. It's time to end the drought.
Listen to the fans versus the media. That's an amazing response right there.
I think at this one, it's one of those games that it's. I think because we all talk about battered ball syndrome, but I think it's one of those that if we lose, it's not one of those you jump on the let's buy or hypo, but it's one of those you're like, oh man, are we in this again? Versus if he wins, that confidence of we got the right guy. He comes in and wins that big game right out of the gate. So it's not so much I think like it's a must win in the sense of the season's doomed. I think it's a must win of do we have the right guy? Can we cement that this is the guy that's going to take us from being the laughing stock to where now, hey, we got to the SEC championship. Exactly.
Yeah. If we want to have a chance in the SEC East, this is a must win.
So is everybody buying in?
I'm more worried about is the LSU game. I'm more worried about LSU than I am Florida this year.
But if he beats Florida, everybody's going to be saying they beat LSU. If he beats Florida on Saturday, everybody's going to be saying.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Baton Rouge and Tennessee have a bad history though.
It's time to get rid of that Rohan Davey curse.
Right.
And
I'll say,
flush that thing down the toilet.
I'll say this. Okay, look at what Josh Heupel has done in 18. Look at what Josh Heupel has done in 18 months. Compare that to Jeremy Pruitt, Bush Jones, and Derek Dooley. When those three coaches came in, was Tennessee in a worse position than Tennessee was when Josh Heupel come in?
No, that's what makes it so impressive. Like it was rock bottom, Jordan. Rock bottom.
Okay. So these people in the media, they're saying, well, we haven't played a real team. And I was on the Uncle Lou show earlier before I came on here, and he even said that was a bunch of hogwash. He said, yes, Pittsburgh's a good team.
They are
and
good
he even
Florida's been exposed. If we lose to Alabama or Georgia, they are an elite team. 1 and 2.
We can hang with Alabama.
I think so. Texas showed that.
We did last season.
Yeah, we ran out of gas. We had no depth on defense. We get them at home this year. I'm very confident. The only team I see us having real trouble with, I'm just going to be honest with you, You might think I'm crazy. You might think I'm full of you know what. But the only team I see us having true trouble with is Georgia. And if it was at
Completely
home,
agree,
I would.
guys.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Georgia does not really play anybody. You know who really is going to be Georgia's first real test? Us. Because you think up until they play us, the toughest game they have is Florida.
What about Spencer Rattler in South Carolina last
Oh, good God. We're going to put up 100 on them. I ain't scared of them boys. Come on. Oh, Spencer Rattler, he's the best quarterback in the SEC. Oh, he did. Oh, shoot. Shut up.
Let me say this, Dauber. If Tennessee plays South Carolina and Spencer Rattler throws for 500 yards, all these idiots won't apologize to me, just like they didn't apologize about Joe Milton, and now they're all screaming, wanting special packages to get Joe Milton in, when all they told me was that Harrison Bailey was touchdown Jesus and everybody else needed to be benched. They never come back to apologize, Dauber. Ever.
Well, hey, I'll tell you what.
I hate you, Dauber.
Somehow that happens, and that's a big if Spencer Rattler somehow pulls a good game out of his rear end when he plays Tennessee, I will say you were right. I will get on here on this video in front of God and everybody. I will say you, Boogie Bentley, of the Tri-Cities area of Northeast Tennessee, was right.
Don't give out my exit number now. Calm down.
No, I just said Tri-Cities area. People don't know there's multiple cities in there. I don't even know. John City, Kingsport, Bristol.
Oh goodness! Let me get this super chat from Dylan Henry for 5. Thank you for the super chat. These next,
like the only thing that's going to hold Tennessee back is themselves. In my opinion.
Right. Yeah. Okay, Boogie, come on.
I got to get these hooligans to learn how to read a super chat. Thank you, Dylan, for the 5. Appreciate it. These next 2 games are important. This is close to back. Wait, this is as close to back as you in year 2. Why can I not read this? This as close to back as you. No wonder why I can't read it. This is close to back from what took over. Amazing job. Was supposed to be a 5-year.
You got to read it. They can't write.
Dylan, thank you for the super chat. Yeah. None of us expected to be here in year 2. That's the thing.
That's agreed.
Pump the brakes a little bit, though. Pump the brakes.
I do have one question. If everybody
they
remembers
overachieved
something.
last year.
They did.
They overachieved last year.
Oh, absolutely.
Expectations from overachieving are higher.
Wait, we lost 3 games by 1 score and we overachieved?
Yeah,
yes.
I don't agree with that.
Everybody was saying this football team was going to win 4 games last year.
Absolutely.
Everybody.
We could have won 9 games in the regular season.
3 plays for being a 10-win team last year.
Yes.
Right, but you're in position. You're
You're
in position to win those games.
Correct.
You shouldn't even been in position to win those games.
No business.
So that's overachieving, right?
Yeah.
By definition.
But
I think that's why the goalpost moved, or the goalpost shifted, and everybody wants more is because of that.
Expectations have now skyrocketed.
As they should.
The expectations are finally
everybody's-
starting to catch up to the level of play and the level of coaching.
Well,
that's right,
and
by God.
Dave, that's a great point. And I said last week, the biggest difference right now is you seeing guys who come in with all the talent in the world, who just come in and then they plateau on the previous coaching staffs.
Absolutely.
These guys are continuing to rise. They're getting better. You see
That's
that
right.
this week. You take last year, and we talked about it earlier. Milton, he looks so much better. And you can argue semantics about the competition, but Milton looks better this year than he did last year. And
Absolutely.
I attribute that to coaching. Go back and look at JG. The kid had 3 offensive coordinators, multiple coaching staffs, and there were years he didn't have a quarterback's coach.
Right.
And
absolutely.
You saw him just, kind of plateau and flatline. He never
actually
got
regressed,
better.
I think.
Yeah.
So that's the difference. It is coaching, and I'll tell you, I completely agree with that. But I do think that the expectations from the fan base, a fan base that is starved for any kind of success.
Right.
You look at basketball, they start to win games, that they get good. Everybody's like, oh yeah, I'm all in on basketball, and then baseball, same thing. Guys that aren't baseball fans are loving it. They're all bought in. They're like, yeah, Tony V, baseball.
My God, it was
go.
like I rediscovered the entire game last year.
So that's what success does. So,
Dauber, that guy called you out.
No, that's all Buck does is call everybody out.
I was gonna say that boy called you out.
At the end of the day, they've still got to not beat themselves. They've got to not beat themselves, because that's been a problem in the past.
That's my next point.
One at a time.
I see these kids stepping on the field and they believe that they can win. Okay.
Yeah.
Under the past 3 coaches, maybe we might be able to pull one out. No, these kids, they step on the field and you can see it in their face and their body language. They believe that they're going to win.
Can I ask a question?
Hold on. Let me hit this $10 super chat from Robbie S. Appreciate it, Robbie. Apple's biggest thing right now that he needs to tell these guys, players, is simple. Do your job. Play your game. We are not the team of 2020. We are not the team of 2016. We are the team of 2022. Go Big Orange. That's the thing, and it's fun. We're fans. We can get on here and speculate, go nuts, and go crazy. All that matters is that Heupel, the coaching staff, and those players are dialed in, and I think that they are. I feel like they are. Bleed Orange 31 for 10. Thank you for Super Chat. Rattler is a joke. And everyone talks about AR's arm, nowhere near Milton's. Go Big Orange. Something tells me that Super Chat wouldn't have come in last year when I was making all the quarterback competition videos. I love that you guys are excited about Milton, but everybody said that I had a screw loose when I was talking about how good he was and how he looked in practice and why he was going to be the starter. Everybody said that I was an idiot and didn't know anything about football. Now they're wanting to put him in special packages. I got to keep defending myself because what else would I do? Do you think, again, staying on this conversation, because Dave's fired up, Dauber's fired up, it's a fun conversation. The expectations shift and change as you go through the course of the season. I agree with Dauber. I think Heupel overachieved last year. I think the fact that, to Dave's point, you had so many 1-point games, you were in position because of the coaching. And now here we are in year 2, and we're going into year 2, and people are talking about 8 or 9 games. You win 8 or 9, you're where you need to be. Now, you go into Florida, you don't always expect to beat Florida. But when you look at Vegas says that Tennessee is, as of right now, an 11-point favorite. So, is it fair to criticize Josh Heupel if he doesn't get the job done on Saturday? Or do we have to come on here for the post-game show and say, everybody calm down, hold hands, sing Kumbaya, and everything's going to be okay? Because we get annihilated when we come on here and say anything negative after a game, whether it's Ball State, Pitt, Akron, no matter what. What's your reaction, Dave, if they go out and they lose to Florida? You going to blow a gasket?
Have you met a Tennessee fan? No, brother, I'm not going to blow a gasket. I'm not going to be happy about it. What I'm looking for, look, the only Florida game that I've ever been to in person was the 92 game in the rain. I was in the upper deck with 2 buddies, and the 3 girls that we were with were all wearing white T-shirts. It was spectacular. Okay? I want that feeling again this Saturday. But I'm not going to blow a gasket if we slip up somehow. You can't do that. But here's the thing. I'm not expecting us to slip up. I'm not expecting a blowout win, but I'm not expecting a slip up. This team has just got their stuff in one bag too well so far, I think.
If Tennessee blows out Florida this weekend, does that make expectations go up against LSU and Alabama, though?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
No,
100%.
absolutely.
I think that's more of exposing how bad Florida truly is this year.
Exactly.
If Tennessee comes out and they beat Florida and then they go 2 weeks later and beat LSU, oh my God, the noise in Knoxville is you aren't going to have
Alabama,
a single Tennessee fan
top 5
that is not going
matchup.
to fully believe Tennessee is not winning that game. Alabama has not played a game like that game's going to be if Tennessee comes into Neyland Stadium 5-0 that day.
If you watched the Texas-Alabama game a couple weeks ago, I watched the whole game. They couldn't handle the noise. They folded under pressure. Bryce Young started playing like a freshman quarterback. And I'm telling you, if Knoxville is as loud as it was against Oklahoma a couple years ago, good grief, it's going to be.
It will be.
Yeah, but
I'm taking my wife to that game.
Yeah, but it's hard to play against Bama and the refs.
She's a Bammer, so I have to.
Oh, gag!
They
I
don't
hope you
play
got a
like that
Buck
against
family
us.
Actually,
Bama
right.
doesn't play like that against us.
You does Tennessee not look like a better team even with the way we played in the Pitt game? I mean, to me personally, I think they've looked better even with vanilla game plans in 2 of the games than Florida has.
Yes.
The old Tennessee wouldn't have won that game against Pitt.
No,
but
it did look like
but
the old Tennessee offense.
when you talk about that, you go do that again against Florida. You go do it on the road against LSU. You're not going to keep coming out with wins. And a lot of people got mad because we were negative after the game. Tennessee, and it's funny because Josh Pate doubled down on exactly what me, Dauber, and Snake said in the post game, but then people respected it because Josh Pate said it. But they gave Pitt every opportunity in the world to win that game, and Pitt shot themselves in the foot. It was like who was trying to screw up more, but they got the
Who
W.
wanted to lose it more?
It was a foot shooting contest.
Yep,
And
we
Pitt
survived.
played like they had Butch Jones as
We
the head
always
coach.
We
got
survived.
one bad game a year. Maybe that's the one we got out of the way.
I hope
But I
so
will
because
say though, I would have been more concerned. I would have thought Tennessee looked better if that Pitt game didn't go the way it went down, where our defense won us that game.
Yeah,
I would be a lot more concerned.
Rewatching that game, that defense was exciting.
Yes,
it was exciting live, but when you rewatched it, even more exciting. Let me hit the super chat from James Moody. Thank you for the $5. Boogie has battered Milton syndrome. Is there a doctor in the chat? If you guys, I love James. James, big time supporter of the show. Big time supporter. James, I love James. Always in the chat. But if you guys knew the amount of hate that the hosts of this show took for any opinion that you have or anything that you
I'll
dig
take
in.
no. Hey, come on now.
If you knew how many times I had this little thing right here out, just scrolling the comments going, oh my gosh.
I tried to take some heat off.
You ain't getting no hate, son.
Listen,
Make one Joe Milton video.
You're in the comments.
Hey, I made 72.
You're in the comments of any YouTube video, even your YouTube videos, posts on Instagram, whatever. You got like 7 different angles coming at you. No matter what you say, you got the UT fans that are either up or way down on Tennessee. You got the Florida fans saying y'all are garbage. We're your daddy. You got the Georgia fans saying I don't care who loses. I just hope one of y'all gets beat down in the ground. You got just the people that are just hate everybody and whatever, just want to make your life miserable. You can't win when it comes to whether it's UT's fan, just SEC fan base on social media. You can't do it. You can't say one thing without somebody coming for you. So.
But it's worth it because there are so many people that I've engaged with in the comments that have good back and forth. And if I didn't read them, then we wouldn't have that connection. If I didn't have the thick skin to put up with it, we wouldn't have this fan call-in show. So I'll just take it.
Gabriel coming on here trying to be realistic.
Hey, it's Gabriel, he looks like somebody does an ASMR channel.
Hey, I got this mic up here. It's not as expensive as it looks, I can promise you.
I used a Rock Band mic for the longest time. No, I actually stepped my
Man,
game up.
2008, ain't it?
What content to make, you got to have tough skin.
You have to, and the bigger the channel gets, the worse it gets.
One of the
just
craziest things I've seen on social media so far is I see a lot of Florida fans hating on Tennessee, but the weirdest thing is I've got a lot of friends that are Georgia fans, and they have been talking, and they said they were defending us, believe it or not, saying they are legit.
Yes, they actually were.
I agree. I've seen Georgia fans on social media. I've seen have been pulling for Tennessee hardcore in this game. Not because they like Tennessee, not because they like Tennessee, because they hate Florida more.
Yeah, that's the thing they do. They hate Florida more.
So yeah.
That
Let me hit this super chat from Wayne. Thank you for the $20, Wayne. Where are you, Wayne? We're about to wrap it up.
Get on
don't
here,
have to
do
get
some
in here.
work, Wayne. Where you
yeah,
at,
exactly.
Bro?
Tell him, Xavier. If you did a little work, Wayne, you might end up with an emoji, but you don't do any work. But thank you for the $20. I appreciate it. I bet you didn't even win at the casino
don't get
tonight.
fed around here, bro.
Wayne says Milton is our backup. No special packages. Need healthy running backs. 100 Go Vols. 41-28. I like it, Wayne. I like it. Appreciate the support, buddy. Wayne's Talkin VAWLS OG. He's a Talkin VAWLS OG.
Really, if you look
In the
at it,
Georgia
if
game
you
last
put
year,
a special package, man, I think it's. I think Murray said this about there. If you put a Milton out there in a special package, that means we're doing something bad because you're putting him out there to throw that Hail Mary pass to win a ball game.
Yeah. Yep. We got to wrap this thing up. We're almost at 2 hours. We're going to do it again, though. We're going to do it again on Saturday at 2:30, an hour before kickoff. We'll go around the room real quick. Everybody give me a score prediction, something quick, and we'll get out. And Jordan, that doesn't mean you scoot back in your chair and tighten your shirt up and give me a 14-minute speech. It means give me a prediction, and we'll get you out the door. Xavier, what do you got? Give me a score prediction for Saturday.
Man, Bug, you know from day one that I've been saying that this is the game marked on the calendar. I'm not even going to lie to you. I want us to put up 60 double Big Pals. It's a double Big Mac cheeseburger, 60 points on them. I want to crush and destroy them. Let them know that, like you said earlier, we've had 15 years of hate for this fan base. So I'm going to say, Vols 60, 17.
Love it, Xavier. Appreciate all your help this week, man. The last 2 morning shows been a lot of fun. Appreciate you jumping on and being my wingman.
Of course, anytime.
All right, later, buddy. All right, Jordan.
See y'all. I say, go Big Orange, y'all.
That's right. Okay. I'll make it short and sweet. Tennessee absolutely dominates. Then they get the bye week, and we go in 5-0 against Alabama, a top 5 matchup. Tennessee wins 49-17. Actually, 49-14.
Against Bama or Florida?
Florida.
Okay.
But I'm saying we go in undefeated. It's a top 5 matchup against Alabama.
Gotcha.
I keep saying it. Last time Tennessee beat Florida, 2016. Last time they started 3-0, 2016. They also started 5-0. Let's go into Bama at 5-0. I like it, Jordan. Thanks for coming on, buddy. You're always a blast. I like to give you a hard time because I enjoy having you on.
I know.
That's the most Han
drop right there.
The most Han Solo moment ever. I love you. I know. And then Jordan just walks out. Oh gosh. All right, Dave, give me a little something. What do you think? All
right, let's go. First of all, hey man, love what you're doing. Love this thing. Thanks for letting me jump on here tonight. Really appreciate it. It's good to talk to all you guys. Love talking to Vol fans. I live in Southwest Florida, man. You would think that this is Gator country. No, it's Big Ten country down here. Fort Myers, Cape Coral, Sanibel, all that. No, it's where the Big Ten vacations because I-75 drains the Midwest.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that they're all down here, but I'm the token Tennessee fan down here. That being said, like I said earlier, I'm not predicting a big blowout win, but I want to feel like 92 again. I'm saying 38-14, Tennessee.
Love it, man.
Right.
Thanks for coming on. I had a blast talking to you. Look forward to doing it. Hope you can jump on Saturday. If not, every Tuesday, 9 o'clock.
Gotcha. Thanks a lot, guys.
Later, buddy. All right, Charles, what do you got?
Well, Boogie, I honestly don't think Florida's defense is going to be able to stop that offense. I think we are too powerful on offense for them right now between Dylan Sampson, Jabari Small, Hendon Hooker, and all the wide receiver depth we got. I got it 45-9 Tennessee. The only way I can see it going down this week.
Love it, man. Appreciate you jumping on.
You've got
Appreciate
AR,
you guys.
still no touchdowns.
No touchdown. Absolutely not, Dobber.
That's crazy.
Maybe he'll get a tackle or two, though, Charles.
Oh, yeah, probably. Thanks, guys.
Later, buddy. All right, Robert, what do you got?
All right, man. I'm like Dave. I'm the token Vol fan down here in Beaumont, Texas, and no matter what we do this week, next week still is going to scare me a little bit. Because it's never a picnic playing at LSU. But before the season, I would have thought that Florida would probably beat us again. I was like you. I predicted us to go 8-4. But now I think we're probably going to win the game. My prediction's 38-17. Good guys.
Nice.
I like it.
I'm in Fort Worth, so I'm right there with you, buddy.
All right, Gabriel.
Appreciate you coming on,
It's
Robert.
rough
Always
down here.
Always
It is,
enjoy
man.
having you on the NCAA streams. Appreciate you being in the chat, buddy.
Hey, thanks for having me on, Boog.
All right, later, buddy. Oh, wow. I was looking for Gabriel to pop up, and it moved Drummer Converse up there. What do you got, buddy? What's your prediction for Saturday?
Oh, man. First of all, guys, thanks for having me on. And hopefully, Boogie, one of these days, you and I can meet up. We can talk some wrestling, man. But for everybody up there that's thinking about becoming a member, to quote Big Tom Callahan, why say no when it feels so good to say yes?
I agree with that. I agree with that.
But as far as the score, man, I think we win. I think we win by by about 3 scores. I'm going to go probably about 48-28 Tennessee.
I like it, buddy. Thanks for coming on. Yeah, if we do we may do another meet and greet in the Tri-Cities, but definitely planning to do an orange and white game tailgate next year. So instead of doing a live stream or anything like that, we're going to do some type of tailgate. Hopefully everybody can come together. It'd be awesome, not only for us to meet you guys, but you guys to meet each other. Because me and Snake were talking about the other day. A lot of times while we're streaming, you guys are talking to each other in the chat. You guys have built this community amongst each other. But, yeah, I'd love to crack open a cold beer, talk a little wrestling, man. So hopefully we can make it happen.
Sounds good, guys. Have a good night, guys.
All right, later, buddy. All right, Gabriel, you worked your way back onto the show. I saw you in the back, and you're like, I don't know if this is going to work. And it's like, hey, I got a spot. Get back in here. Get back in here.
I appreciate you putting me back on there. It was so much fun. Too much fun not to try. So I'm glad I got in. I love doing this. It's such a good opportunity for me to talk football down here. I don't have a lot of people I can do that with, but I've already given my score prediction. So I'll say this because I have this to say about the defense. I know we haven't played. People saying Pitt wasn't a good football team. They're talking out of their butt. Pitt was a good football team. Our defense battered them up. Our defense is the reason we won that game. Other than that, I know they're pretty unproven, but I do think they're the real deal. They're up there in the SEC right now, and just about every statistic, they're going to get a pretty good test this week. But as far as schemes go, I was listening to the On 3 or the VolQuest podcast earlier this morning. It was either Hubbs or Price that said that they think Tennessee should dial it back and kind of play cautious. Yeah. That's how Tennessee loses football games to Florida right there, is when they play not to lose. So I'm thinking Tennessee dials up those pressures, puts Anthony Richardson on the ground many times and keeps that pressure on, because that's how they won at Pitt, and that's how we're going to win against Florida. So that's what I got to say. Again, appreciate you bringing me on here at the end, and looking forward to talking to y'all again. I'll see y'all on Saturday.
Like it, buddy. I heard that. I listened to the podcast earlier today and heard the same thing, and I was like, wow, I disagree. I completely disagree with that. Thanks for jumping on, buddy. It was good to have you on.
Thanks, man. Bye.
All right, later. All right, Pokemon. Get it off my face. All right. Whew. Don't like that extreme close-up.
All right. Thanks for having me on. I love the show. I think that you're right. If we try to hold back and don't pressure, clearly, everybody knows you win at the line of scrimmage, right? Whether it's offensive line or the defensive line. And I think they could have a huge game. Florida's offensive line isn't like they have had in past years. And that's the way we're going to win it. I think 34-9 is going to be the final. I will say, I hope Sampson is good. That kid looked crazy good with his speed and Jabari's power. I think teams aren't ready. I forget the other kid's name. That Wright, I think, the other running back. He's really good too, breaking off 8-9 yard runs. If we can get that going, the sky's the limit in my opinion.
All right, man. Well, appreciate you coming on. It was good to talk to you. Appreciate all your support, buddy.
Have a good night.
All right, later. We're going to save our predictions for tomorrow night.
That was a lot of fun.
I didn't want to go off air, but at the same time, I don't know. I hate to say it because I always say, you can't say that on air, but dude, I'm sick as crap. I feel like absolute crap. I can't go off air, man. This is too much fun. Having a blast.
That was probably my favorite fan calling show we've had.
They get better and better every week. They get better and better. I love it. It's one of my favorite things we do.
We said it last week, man. The guys that come in, the guys in the chat, the guys that come in on the call-in show, they bring up such good points, and that's what it's about. It's awesome.
We're still on that grind, man. We are just a little over 100 subscribers. 123 subscribers to be exact. 123 subscribers away from 15,000. The goal was 15,000 by kickoff. Didn't get there. I said we're going to do it by Florida. We're right around the corner. I think we're going to get it done. I think we're going to get to 15K.
How many people are still on right now?
We got 298 people watching live right now. What are you going to challenge them to do, Dauber?
Man, every one of you guys share this out. Come back tomorrow night, Wednesday, when we do our midweek show. Man, bring your mom, bring your sister, bring your aunt, bring your uncle, bring your grandma.
Hey, look, there was 2 people that trained to be wrestlers, so I can run this joke and they'll get it. Tell a friend, tell a gram, tell a wrestler. Everybody will know about Talkin VAWLS. If you tell one wrestler, everybody's going to find out. But seriously, all seriousness, this community is amazing. I want to continue to grow it. It takes 2 seconds to hit share or retweet. Anytime you see us promote, make sure you guys like it. Make sure you share it. We'll keep growing this thing. The goal is 20,000. Let's get to 20,000 by the end of the year. It's going to be a hustle, going to be a lot of work, but I think we can do it with your help. Appreciate the way you guys support. Appreciate all the new members of the channel. You guys can see how much fun the members have. You guys, we turn this thing over to you. It's just a big old night of chaos. Me and Dauber are no different than anybody else on the panel. We're all just talking, hanging out, having a good time. So we appreciate all the new members for supporting us and what we're trying to do. Like Dauber said, we're going to be live tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern time for Talkin VAWLS Live. It'll be me, Dauber, and JP's going to be back in the house. You heard Eric Cain say it at the top of the video. Locked on VAWLS tomorrow, and tomorrow only. Make it your first listen of the day. I'm not going to drop a video in the morning because I want you to go check out Eric's work. We had a good conversation that we recorded Monday. So check that out in the morning. I think it goes live at midnight. So crack open a beer and stay open for another hour and go check that out. I'll drop a video probably around lunchtime. We'll be live at 7 p.m. More content coming your way throughout the week. Never say never. Who knows? Me and Xavier may drop another morning stream. Who knows? You never know. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you dialed in. That's going to do it for this one. I'm going to send you out of here with the Admiral Schofield video again because it's that dang good.
Hey, let's do it again tomorrow night.
We'll do it again. He's Dauber. I'm Boogie Bentley. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. Go Big Orange.
You know what Baker Mayfield said about Neyland Stadium? He said, it's a different type of loud. Can't even describe it. Can't describe it? It's okay. His teammates did. And I quote, I ran out of the tunnel for warm-ups, and I was greeted by thousands of screaming fans. The game wouldn't even start for over an hour, but those people seemed to think it was kickoff. Those psychotic students already giving us a preview of what to expect in the hours to come. What followed was a dissertation of an impact a crowd could have on a football game. They made it absolutely impossible to communicate. But on the first drive, we had to change our snap count because even our silent count was ineffective against the wall of noise. I came off the field after the first drive, and I reassured my coach that the fans would settle down in due time, and that noise wasn't going to be an issue going forward. Boy, was I wrong. The noise was a constant, oppressive force. I could literally feel it on my skin. Those fans weren't just loud on the first drive, or even just third down, but every single play. End quote. Wow. Ball Nation, he's talking about us. Don't let up.